Hi, this is Terry Ensberg. Today I want to talk about hair, and my quote is it's a comb, not a wand. I've noticed while we've been going through the pandemic, and has been so much life or death in the news, that when I talk to people on Zoom or FaceTime, friends, family, coworkers, after about the first month, more and more people started talking about their hair, including me. And the conversations would go like this. Someone would say, "Isn't that terrible how many people are dying of COVID? Did you see in the news the refrigerator trucks in New York where they're just loading the bodies in with forklifts? It's just terrible." Then there'd be a pause in the conversation. Then somebody would say, "Hey, can you see my roots? I mean, see right there how gray it is?" And we would all immediately forget about the bodies and say, "No, no, no, and hardly at all, and not until you tip your head forward like that. Your hair looks fine." And so we would shift from like life and death to our hair as if it were life and death. And it feels like it. And as the weeks went by and our hair got crazier, it got to be more annoying and more people would bring it up. Have you heard anything about salons? Are they open yet? I mean, I'm in LA County, but not in the city of Los Angeles. I'm in a little suburb. And then I'd be like, I don't know. LA has blocked salons, but is that true for the whole county or just for the city? And this would go on. And then people, in moments when they could do it, or even when they couldn't, they'd cut each other's hair. They'd run out to a salon. They would just get it done, and then the conversations turned to, "Well, have you ever tried box dye? I mean, what do you think of that? Should I try coloring it myself? Should I go darker, lighter? What's going to happen if I do it myself?" I finally got so desperate. I don't like my hair long. I don't like the feeling of hair on my skin. And I think it's beautiful on other people, but it's just not physically comfortable for me. From the inside out, it doesn't feel good. I have really sensitive skin and I just don't want it on my skin. And I finally got so desperate when it got I don't know, down to about here, that I asked my husband to cut it for me. And I have to give him credit for bravery because he did. And I said, just make it a chin length bob. That was a mistake. He doesn't even know what a bob is. And I was delusional, just because he had scissors in his hand, thinking maybe he was like a stylist or something. And he did get it pretty even, but it was more like a bowl cut. And if you want to know exactly what it looked like, look at an old picture of the little Dutch boy on a paint can. And that is an exact image of how it looked. But at least it was off my skin. So, I mean, I wasn't happy with the way it looked, but it felt better. So, oh, it was bad. And, and it took him like 45 seconds. That's how bad it was. So I tried calling my stylist. At this point, I felt that although I'm a law abiding person, I just didn't care anymore. I felt like I've got to get my hair done. I can't stand it. Tried calling my old hairstylist, and her phone was disconnected. I've gone to her for 20 years. It was like a knife in my heart. Like, oh my God, they've gone out of business. You know, and again, I fully realize this is a first world problem, and that the problems people have had from this pandemic are absolutely shattering. I mean, people have been evicted, people have lost their jobs, people have died, people have permanent heart damage and brain damage, lung damage from this disease. So I don't want anybody to think I'm proud of this, because I'm not. But this is real life for me, and this is what happened. So I became desperate, and my stylist was, missing in action. And so a friend of mine had run into a salon, gotten her hair cut, and the day before. So I called her up and said, "Where is that salon?" So she told me. I called the lady up. Can you take me? Can you fit me in? Okay. Yeah, okay, come at 2. Like, she's doing me a big favor. So I went over there, and it was in a strip mall, and the salon was totally locked, dark, like windows shuttered. This is like going to a speakeasy in Prohibition. This was an illegal uh, thing I was doing. So I tapped on the door. She opened it and gestured like, "Quick, get in." So I, so I went in. I was, of course, the only person there. They only take one illegal person at a time, I guess. And so she cut my hair, and I kept picturing constables crashing in through the back door to arrest me for an illegal haircut. And I just felt like, just let her finish cutting it before they take me away in handcuffs so I'll look good for my mug shot. You know, I'm just psychologically unable to go on like this. So she cut it, and she got it a lot shorter than I wanted, but at least it was done, and I told her, "Thank you. It looks intentional now." And that's, big step up for me. So so I sneaked back out, and then I was so relieved. A couple of days ago, my husband got a call from our hairstylist, and I don't know why. If she just, I think they disconnected their landline, is probably what happened. And she is in business, so I just hope that she stays in business. But here in the Los Angeles area, and probably everywhere, but I think especially here because we're a hot spot, things change really like every day. I mean, we every day when we wake up, we don't know if beaches will be open. We don't know if hair salons will be allowed to operate. Um, and again, this is certainly not the worst thing that could happen to anyone, but it's a little unnerving that we don't know what is available ever, and it changes. And then I have found it particularly difficult that there has been no consistent um, application of rules from the state level, the county level, and the city level. So it, we don't know. I mean, we'll hear gyms are open or something, and then, but is that so? Maybe your city allows it, but your county doesn't, or your county allows it, but the state doesn't. So there's kind of a vertical inconsistency in the laws and the rules and how they're applied. But I have to say we've just migrated toward a position that says we're just doing the best we can. We just do the best we can. We just do. So it at some point I can't track everything all the time. But anyway, I just think when I saw this quote, it's a comb, not a wand. It made me think about all the funny hair stuff that's come up during the pandemic. And I hope my descendants watch this someday. If they ever wonder about what was it like in the pandemic of 2019 on, what was life like? And this is one of the ways life is different. Thank you for listening to me. Talk to you later. Bye.